41 right now. Anderson Cooper next on KTRS.
No, right now.
Oh, right now. Let's go right now. 8:49. Here he is. He is connected to St. Louis many different ways.
Yeah.
I was on his show, and now I'm nice enough to put him on my show.
Isn't that nice of you?
Yeah, see how big I am? He was also the host of the presidential debate here at Wash U in the fall. He is good friends with St. Louis and Andy Cohen, and he has written a New York Times best-selling book now out in paperback about him and his famous mother, Gloria Vanderbilt. The book is called The Rainbow Comes and Goes. Anderson Cooper, welcome to KTRS here in St. Louis.
Hey, thanks so much. It's great to be here.
So
Thanks for having me on your show.
You got well. I just figured I would return the favor after you putting me on your show, which you have
You're
no.
doing me a solid. I appreciate it.
You have no recollection of me being on your show,
He's
but
like
it's certainly
McGraw.
understandable. Yeah. All right. So, how hard is it, Anderson Cooper, to write a book about your life, your famous mother, and all the trials and tribulations? Did you put everything in the book?
Well, really what it was is when my mom turned 91, I realized she's not going to be around forever, and there was all this stuff I didn't know about her. And, I knew her as a parent. I think many of us, we know our parents as, she was my mom. I didn't really know her as a person. And so I decided I didn't want there to be anything left unsaid between us. And my dad died when I was 10, and there's all these things I wish I'd been able to ask him. And so I didn't want that to be the case for my mom. So when she turned 91, we decided to spend a year having a new kind of conversation. And we did it over email because it was easier and more convenient and less awkward. And it didn't start out as a book. It just started out me asking my mom questions over email. And she would respond, and then sometimes she started asking me questions about myself. And about 6 months into it, I realized I was talking to Andy Cohen and Kelly Ripa about what I was doing. And, they all said the same thing, which is, wow, I wish I had done that with my mom, or I wish I could do that with my mom. And so we decided to make it a book, and we just continued doing it. And then it was this very intimate conversation, and that turned out to be the most kind of important conversation of our lives, and it really changed our relationship. And I didn't know if anyone would, it turns out my mom, of course, has had this extraordinary, epic life of love and loss, but the book has really, I think, gotten such a great response, and I think it's really encouraged a lot of people to, try to alter their relationship, particularly with an aging parent or a parent with their child, and kind of discover them in a new way.
Could you have done this face to face, or was it so hard and emotional that the distance of the computer allowed you guys to get closer?
Yeah, the distance definitely helped. I mean, there was, doing it face to face, there is this awkwardness sometimes. We talked about stuff that we'd never talked about before. My mom drank when I was a kid, and that was a huge issue that we'd never really discussed. And that was something she brought up over email. And so to be able to talk about that was, I got nervous even discussing it over email with her because it was something that we so rarely talked about. So I definitely think it helped doing it over email, and not just for convenience sake because I'm on the road so much, but I think it helped us avoid, whatever. It's like putting a message in a bottle and throwing it in the ocean and only get a response back.
Yeah. The #1 New York Times bestseller, now out in paperback, The Rainbow Comes and Goes. Did everything make it into the book, or did you leave some things for yourself?
No, pretty much everything is in there. I mean, we thought if we're going to do this, we're going to do this and be completely honest. And so, I would occasionally ask my mom, like, are you sure that you're okay with this? And she was fine with everything. So she really doesn't have much of a filter. So if anything, I'm the one who's more reticent and shy, but everything's in there.
She did not have a filter. Was there something was there one particular email of all the emails that when you guys corresponded, when you were reading it and you were like, oh my goodness, she did this?
Yeah, when she told me that when she made love to Howard Hughes, it was the first time she didn't fake an orgasm. I was like, you know what, that's a little too much information. Don't really need to have that visual.
Now, that must have cost you thousands of dollars of therapy to hear that.
Yeah, that's been, I had to work that out. Image is still every now and then pops up into my mind, but I try to work it out.
All right. Now, Anderson Cooper, you're about my age, and you grew up in New York. I grew up in New York. You grew up with a famous family. I did not grow up with a famous family. My question to you is, did you ever wear Gloria Vanderbilt jeans while in high school?
Well, Since they were women's jeans, no, I did not.
Wait, hold on a second. Some guys in my high school wore Gloria Vanderbilt jeans.
Really?
No, there's no way.
No? All right.
Well, I don't know what sort of a high school. Maybe you went to an alternative high school.
Maybe you did.
Cool.
I don't think so. No. All right. What about Calvin? But like Calvin Klein and Jordache, those were all.
Calvin Klein did. I think Calvin Klein had men's jeans, but yeah, my mom did. It was just women's jeans.
All right.
I
Well,
specifically remember
yeah,
wearing.
I was never tempted. That wasn't my thing. But, I don't. If somebody wants to, that's totally cool.
Yeah.
That's fine.
It's their prerogative.
all right. Fair enough. Anderson Cooper, what is it about? Kelly and I joke all the time on the show. She's single, and we joke about the gay boyfriends. And she loves Andy Cohen. Women love Andy Cohen. Women love you. My sister likes you more than me. What is it about the gay man and the straight woman? What is it about that relationship?
Gosh, I don't know. I think it's nice for a woman to be able to hang out with guys who aren't necessarily hitting on her, or there's not that sort of tension, and you can talk about, and you also have a similar interest, which are guys. So, it's the great common thing you have in common, which is you both like guys, and you can talk about guys, and you can get advice about, you can have guys explain to you from another guy. So I don't know. I think that's part of it.
Do you have a ton of girlfriends who are your girlfriends, and you're their gay boyfriend in a sense? Most of them. A lot of my oldest friends from like high school are girls, or obviously women. But most of them are married now, and so that the relationship obviously changes, and also I just don't have time to hang out much anymore. So I've sort of annoyed them all because I'm just not around very much. Sort of only exist on email. Fair enough. The New York Times bestseller. The book is The Rainbow Comes and Goes, written by Anderson Cooper. Emails and a conversation with him and his famous mother, Gloria Vanderbilt. I've got time for one news story. Thoughts today about Michael Flynn, the White House. How much of this is a really bad story, and how much of this is media-driven, and how much of this is just Trump bashing?
I don't think it's Trump bashing. You have the National Security Advisor, like the one guy you would want to be completely honest, if you only had to pick one, is the National Security Advisor. And if he's lying to the Vice President about what he talked about on the phone to a Russian diplomat, that's not a good thing. And, whether you think it matters that he was talking to this Russian diplomat about something that, violated the Logan Act, which is like this obscure act that no one's really ever been prosecuted for. But I think it's more just lying to the Vice President about what he talked about and lying to the country about what he talked about. I think that's an issue, and certainly an issue within the administration. If you have somebody in your staff who lies to you about what they said to a foreign diplomat, I think that hurts their credibility. So I actually do think it's a pretty big deal. It's obviously not a great thing for the administration. It's for the White House, and I think they're going to try to move quickly to get somebody else, and we'll see where the story goes, frankly.
New York Times bestseller, as well as host of Anderson Cooper 360 on CNN. The book is The Rainbow Comes and Goes. Anderson Cooper, thank you for spending a couple minutes with us, and good luck down the road.
Thanks so much. It was fun.
You got it. There you go. Anderson Cooper. Kelly Jackson's gay boyfriend. 8:57 KTRS.